Okay, we're back for part 4. This time I'm actually recording it on a different day. I know, it's insane. But I am. So, here's the situation. Blue means controlled by the north. Red means controlled by the south. At the moment, this part of the south, it's cut off, but there's still a lot of forces there. And these forces are ordered never to surrender. They're ordered to take a defensive line, to send all their troops right here and take a defensive line, and just kind of like actually no, they're not ordered. They're ordered to just defend the major cities, Atlanta, Charlotte, North Carolina, and all these cities in Florida. So, they're sent to all the cities, and the North does that. They push into Mississippi, the state surrenders. Same with Tennessee. Alabama, they push into their cities. Mobile has already fallen in Alabama, but Montgomery and Birmingham fall as well. And then they start pushing into the coast of the Carolinas. They take it. They take Charlottesville, and they take Savannah, Georgia. And now the city of Jacksonville, Florida, is it's not under siege, but they're a few miles out of the city. And now the North hopes to cut off these forces, and they hope to do it quickly, so all these forces can escape and they're forced to surrender. So what they do is they start a front here. They actually take Pensacola first. They take Florida's I'm gonna call it their peninsula. Their panhandle. But luckily most of the forces, they're sent to defend Atlanta and Charlottesville. They do manage to escape. Very narrowly, they escape about here. But, the forces that do stay, they pretty much get destroyed. The North just takes the cities. They put the city under siege, and then the city eventually falls. Jacksonville, however, a major front is set up right here, and it's very unbreakable. 1,000,000 troops are stationed in this rather tiny area, so it's very bad. The Allies cannot break through. And now the Mississippi is set up. It looks like they control both sides of the Mississippi here, but they actually only control one side until they get down to like here. So a front is being set up on the Mississippi. And while the North was invading all these southeastern states, the South was actually invading Missouri. Because it was left somewhat undefended, they reached St. Louis. The city was put under siege. It still had an escape route, but the city did eventually fall. And St. Louis, and this was a huge thing because St. Louis throughout history has sort of been a gateway to the, St. Louis has always been a gateway to the East, and now the North has finally met up with the East. And now this war has turned into more of an East-West war. So that's pretty cool. However, the North controls much of the developed parts of the country, but the Rust Belt is like kind of a dying region. The South kind of hopes to cut off this area, and then take Wisconsin. They know that the North is really focusing on taking Florida to get rid of this front. So the North actually starts their push. They manage to break the front, but after much fighting and many deaths, they put Jacksonville under siege and take it. And then they march into Disneyland and they take that as well. They reach Tampa, put the city under siege, rush down this coast of Florida, take this. They take the Keys, I guess. And then they've reached the greater Miami area. And now the final Southern troops trapped in this region. These forces have kind of been escaping. And now a huge front is set up right here. and around the Miami area, and they're ordered to hold out just so the North can't take it all. In the meantime, however, the South has started their push back into these territories. They try to take Kentucky. No, they don't try to take Kentucky. They get over the Mississippi right here on this border, and then they begin to push here. And they eventually cut Wisconsin and Michigan's Upper Peninsula off. All the troops here. Then they rush into Milwaukee. They take Milwaukee. Wisconsin falls. And Michigan's Upper Peninsula also falls. And now most of Michigan is exposed, and Michigan's very populated, as well as the Chicago area. And if the North loses Chicago, it's very bad. They're actually ordered to send some of their troops from the South here to go defend the Rust Belt. And because some of their troops have left the South, this Florida place has started going on the counteroffensive. They start liberating Tampa, they liberate Orlando, and they reach Jacksonville, but once again the city's put under siege. And they get there back to the new front, just this time more like that. And then the North actually, and then now that the North, they're really mad that they just lost Florida, and so the thing with Southern Florida is that Southern Florida is a very northern area. And so as much of this, they really don't like being under Southern control. So a revolution starts in Seattle, and the South has to send a bunch of troops to suppress it. However, they can't, and Seattle actually declares the Republic of Wyoming and Oregon, which is technically a neutral state. Now, these two nations have united. They're technically neutral, but they do lean heavily northern. Same with, they lean heavily northern, but they're cut off, so they can't really support it, otherwise they just fall again. However, the North finally begins their major push into the South begins their push into the Chicago area, as the North has focused a lot of troops back here. They start their push, they cross the Mississippi, take the greater St. Louis area, they get the Ohio River, they actually push down into Kentucky, they liberate Kentucky, and then, with Kentucky liberated, they push up into the Ohio River Valley, and then they push up here, up the Indiana border, and this isn't cut off yet. However, they start their major push here, and they almost managed to cut it off. However, a force holds out at South Bend, right here, which is very annoying, because it means it's not cut off, and much of these forces, fearing that they're about to be cut off, manage to escape, thanks to this tiny force. With the forces escaped, the South pushes into Indiana. Indianapolis is put under siege. They take Chicago. Illinois falls. This is a huge defeat. Illinois falls. Indiana falls. Now, Oh, and they also push into Tennessee. So the South, it's looking really good for the South, and not so great for the North. However, the North the North still has a bunch of territory here, but they're nearing the northern capital of New York. And a bunch of northern cities are located in this area. The North just lost the second most important city, Chicago. And much of Florida has been recaptured by the South. So it's really not looking so great for the North. And you'll see what happens in part